WNDS Sports presents Candlepin Stars and Strikes, featuring the best Candlepin bowlers from all over New England. And now, in our 17th season, here's your hosts for Candlepin Stars and Strikes, Dick Lutz and Mike Moore.
Let's climb another rung of the ladder as we welcome you into another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Moore. Last week, an easy win for Rich Clark, and this week he takes on our number 3 seed.
Yeah, it always looks like an easy win for us, but bowling out here is a whole different story. This week it's the classic case of the rookie versus the grizzled veteran in Rich Clark. Should be an interesting 60 minutes of bowling.
Rich Clark last week, an easy 376 to 314 win over Scott Creighton. May not be that easy this week. Let's meet our bowlers for this afternoon's match. First, last week's winner, our number 4 seed, Rich Clark from Bedford, New Hampshire.
Many-time participant in the Tournament of Champions, hopes to make it to the top and do it again, but we'll find out in the next few weeks. Rich's average in 2 different houses, 128 and 123. His high single, 195. High triple is 467. Does his bowling in a couple different places, Park Place in Wyndham, and part of a traveling league out of St. Joseph's in Haverhill, Mass.
And Rich rolled a 670 to earn his number 4 seed in this latter series, and he'll be taking on a young man who's making his television debut, Jeremy Seaholm from Brookfield, Massachusetts.
The butterflies are churning even as we speak before young Jeremy steps to the line. His average, 118 these days, also a high single of 177, high triple 456, bowls at Fairway Sports World in Natick and at Needham Bowlaway.
Jeremy, just 19 years old, bowled a 673 to earn his number 3 seed. It's Rich Clark and Jeremy Seaholm. Let's get right to it. Candlepin Stars and Strikes continues from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, right after this. All right, last week it was Rich Clark eliminating Scott Creighton in the 376 to 314, setting up this afternoon's match with number 3 seed Jeremy Seaholm, with Sean McKinley and Jeff Buggio waiting in the wings, and it'll be Rich Clark first to bowl here this afternoon against Jeremy Seaholm.
Or Jason Seahorn, as the case may be.
We were just talking about the Super Bowl, and I was thinking about that as you led me into the break. Rich Clark starts off with a shot off the head pin, and today is Super Bowl Sunday as you watch this for the first time, and we're taping this several weeks in advance, so we don't know who in fact will be playing in the Super Bowl. But want to go out on a limb and pick a winner?
I'm hoping for Baltimore. Now, of course, Baltimore may have been eliminated.
By now, yeah.
When we taped this, it was down to the final 4. Baltimore was one of them.
And I'll go with the Vikings.
Going for the Vikes, huh? Who played the New York Giants 2 Sundays ago, actually. The reason I was pulling for Baltimore, I have a friend who made a little wager in Vegas last year and got 65 to 1 odds on the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. That'd be $1,300 if that would have come to pass.
I would think he would take his dear friend Michael out to dinner with the winnings.
Yes, he would. Rich Clark stepping to the foul line to check the exact location of the dead wood. It's the 3, 4, and the 6 with wood to the right of the 6 pin.
Now, the Super Bowl isn't until much later today, although the pregame show started yesterday, probably sometime.
Yeah, right. Well, it's the biggest betting day of the year in Las Vegas.
$10 for Rich Clark. Starts out with a 19. And now we get our first look, and you get your first look at 19-year-old Jeremy Seaholm from Brookfield, Massachusetts. Just recently moved to Brookfield, had lived in Framingham, and did most of his bowling in that part of the state. And his first ball is just off the pocket. It was interesting in the pre-game shoot that you get to watch when we introduced the bowlers. He rolled a strike.
Right. A good omen for the youngster out of Brookfield, Mass. We can call him a youngster. Of course, most of these bowlers compared to us, Dick, are youngsters these days.
You're a youngster compared to me.
Well, not really.
And that'll be a $9 for Jeremy starting out.
Of course, we both have birthdays coming up next month, one day apart. Not sure.
You remembered?
Of course I did.
How sweet.
I'm going to give you your birthday present at Pilgrim Lanes on February 25th, the day before your birthday.
By handing me another victory?
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you more about that as we go on here the next few weeks.
Jeremy bowls at Fairway Sports World in Natick, and Needham bowl away. And here's a spare. And he made a very difficult shot for his first television spare. So that'll ease the butterflies a little bit, and Jeremy has the first mark of the match.
But still not relaxed enough to smile. A couple more of those and he'll be smiling, I'm sure.
And Rich off the head pin again.
I wonder what the mindset is of a veteran like Rich Clark stepping out on the lanes, knowing you've got so much more experience, not only in years of bowling, but television experience. If you feel like you do have this extra advantage, or if you're maybe a little bit leery that you could get too overconfident.
Well, my guess is that Rich isn't thinking an awful lot about the opponent. He's more thinking about his game and just worrying about what he has to do and concentrating on his delivery and everything he does. And he'll worry about let the other guy worry about himself. The Rich has missed the head pin again.
It's a rather generous pinfall of 7 when he should have had only 3 or 4. 1, 4, and 7. Some wood at the back of the plate. Not really a factor, probably.
Unless it redirects the ball, which it didn't. So Rich will be open through 4. And he'll take a 9 box. Jeremy is a mechanic at Fairway Sports World, and he hopes to attend college to pursue a career in audio engineering. His mom is Carol, his dad is Edward, and he has a sister, Jennifer, who's 24 years old. And he puts 7, 8 in the spare. And he's the first of 2 19-year-olds we will see in this ladder series as we climb the ladder to number 1 seed, Jeff Bugia. Here's another mark for Jeremy. Bowling like a seasoned veteran, and he's looking right at some bonus money. 3 marks in a row is worth $50. 3 strikes in a row would be worth $925 for either bowler.
Jeremy's average 118.
That time off the head pin again. He will put 5 in the spare,
giving him a 13-pin advantage over veteran Rich Clark through the first 3 frames.
Nice shot, 3 marks in a row. That's $50 in bonus money for Jeremy Seaholm.
Very nice. 7-pin last to go. $50 in the bank already for young Jeremy.
Didn't take him long to cash in, did it?
Well, that pretty much covers gas money from Brookfield to Nashville and back at today's prices.
And now Rich Clark will try to respond. He put it right on the head pin, but doesn't have much to show for it. The 5, the 4, the 5, and the 7. Ooh, he almost made it. He took the 4 and the 5 and left the 7-pin standing. And a 10 box. I want to acknowledge Dick and Joanne Federchuk, regular watchers of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. They're from Tewksbury, and they're here today. And Joanne came up to me prior to the taping to introduce herself to me, and she told me that they've been watching the show for a long time. And in fact, she bowls duck pins. And here's Rich Clark. Pretty good pocket shot and missed in Bill Ricca.
In Bill Ricca at Collins Bowlodrome.
And I'd like to go up there sometime. I haven't seen ducks in a long time.
It's a great game. And I'm sorry that it never really caught on, or at least it's really pretty much faded from New England.
Look at that shot by Rich Clark. Wow, what a great shot. That was the 8 and the 10 with some wood. And a terrific shot for Rich Clark for his first mark of the match.
And he better get marking, because Jeremy Seaholm has lit it up 3 times in a row now.
And he's only going to put 5 in the mark and leave a real tough shot with some wood angle that will be beneficial to him. Not going to make the spare, so the streak of consecutive marks ends at 3. And that'll be a 9 box. So our thanks to Dick and Joanne Federchuk of Tewksbury for watching religiously every weekend from their home in Tewksbury, Massachusetts. It's nice to know you're there. and have been for many years, and hope you will be for many years in the future. And he responds with a strike. 4th mark in 6 frames for Jeremy Seaholm.
5-pin last to go on a Brooklyn side hit for Jeremy.
Doesn't look like the lights have bothered him too much.
Not at all. Maybe he thrives on it. Some people do.
Now Rich Clark, he'll be off the head pin, and he'll only put 3 in his spare. And he'll follow that up with a great shot for a spare. 2 marks in a row for Rich Clark. He'll look for some bonus money. We told you last week about Rich wearing glasses.
Yep.
From an accident that he sustained in June. He's going to put 7 in the spare and leave a very difficult shot. The 5, the 8, and the 9. Or is it the 5, the 6, and the 8?
5, 6, 8. Yeah,
5,
you're
6,
right.
8. He'll be open in the 8th frame. Rich was working on a piece of farm equipment on his farm in Bedford. And a piece of metal flew into his eye, and he had to have surgery at Tufts, and was told that the piece of metal came within a millimeter of causing serious permanent damage to his eye. And thus the glasses. It took him a while to get used to them, but now, as you can tell by his bowling, he's seen pretty well. Now Jeremy working on a strike, breaks up the split.
Nice break. 2-pin goes down, leaving the 6 and the 10. Hoping to start another string of at least 3 marks for another $50, as he did a few frames ago.
Missed the spare. Puts 9 in the strike. Nine box. He's at 94. Through 7.
Did his junior bowling at the Fairway Sports Center in Natick, where he, as Dick mentioned, works as a mechanic. And that, of course, was the home as the Channel 5 bowling show came to a rest about 4 years ago. Helen Salou, the proprietor at the Fairway Sports World, still there. So if you're in Metro West, fine bowling center.
For the spare, right there. Jeremy Seaholm with his 5th mark of the first string.
Shame he missed the 6-10 in the last box. Could have easily been 3 marks in a row.
He's really putting early pressure on veteran Rich Clark. Rich has had a couple of appearances in the Tournament of Champions. That's right in the pocket. Wood out front. Looks for some bonus money. Not here. He had an open frame in the 8th frame. And that will not be a mark. He left the 7-pin in the corner. The double wood hurt him, as it so often does. That'll be a 10 box. He's at 97. Double wood creates a situation where you really don't know what's going to happen many times.
Pretty much negates a lot of times any impact it might have, because the energy is absorbed by both pins and they can do their own thing often.
The time Rich breaks up the split again, and he's got a makeable shot here with the 2 and the 5. Wood all over the deck.
You'd like the wood to not be up so close, but he does have a clean shot, Dick, at the 2-pin, which is the object pin in this case.
Went at the wood. He'll be open. He's at 106.
Don't know if he intended to do it quite that way. A little bit surprised.
106 first string for Rich Clark of Bedford. And he will be trailing Jeremy Seaholm going into the 2nd string.
And it'll be by a lot of pins.
Jeremy works on a spare. Right in the pocket. Right in the 1-3 pocket. The 7-pin was tapped.
He threw that ball with more authority than any other ball he's thrown so far today. He is very confident at this moment.
And a mark.
He knows he's got to pile up a lot of pins, because Rich Clark will not go quietly.
6th mark of the first string for Jeremy Seaholm.
Chance at bonus money here in the 10th frame.
Missed the head pin. 4 horsemen, 1 falls, so it's 3 on the left side. The 1, the 2, and the 7. Missed the head pin. He's at 138. And a 10 box, a 140 first string for Jeremy Seaholm, and he takes a 34-pin lead to the second string of the match with Rich Clark as we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Jeremy Seaholm will be first to bowl in the second string, and he takes a 34-pin lead over Rich Clark into the middle string of our three-string match at Leda Lanes in Nashua. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin. So happy you could join us for Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Week after week among the top-rated shows on WNDS TV, and it just goes to show that there are a lot of you out there who watch Candlepin bowling each and every week, and many more of you who are finding your local Candlepin bowling center and partaking, and that's always a good sign. Jeremy starts out with an 8 box.
Well, Dick, we've often talked about the good old days when the major bowling shows would be on television. Then you would leave your house to go bowling, and the bowling centers would all be packed because everybody would be all psyched and pumped to go bowling after watching it on TV.
Here's Jeremy with a pocket shot and a strike. Boy, oh boy, he has really been on target. That was right to the left of the head pin, just on the Brooklyn side, and great pin action. And a strike for Jeremy, his second strike of the match, his 7th mark of the match. Rich Clark with a high triple of 467, as you see. He grabs the head pin. He breaks up the split. Look, that 7-pin almost skirted off the lane.
Didn't do himself any favors by widening the gap there, but he does have a piece of wood frozen against the 7, or very close to it. That will help if he were to chop the 4 off the 7.
Has to hit the 4-pin. Missed the 4-pin.
Oh, boy.
That was the key. And he gets a 9 box to start out.
Sure, he's not very happy with himself. A couple of what appear to be careless misses on some spare opportunities. Finds himself over 30 pins in the hole here against Jeremy Seaholm.
Will it go? Will they go? One will go. Will it come back and kick out the 4-pin? It will not. The 4-pin stands surrounded by wood. One piece rolls off, which is good.
Very good, because now he's got a guide if he misses to the right.
And I believe that pin is frozen to it, so
yep.
He's got a lot of angle here. Spare for Rich Clark.
Young Jeremy Seaholm is what we'd call a basement musician.
On the head pin. Look at the split he leaves, the 7 and the 10 with wood all over the deck. 4 pieces, 1 piece rolls off, 3 pieces of wood spread across from left to right.
Guitar and drum player in his basement only. You won't see him on VH1 anytime soon, he says. But he wants to get associated with, I guess, a field that's very close to performing, and that is audio engineering. Go to college for that, he hopes.
That'll be a 9 box for Jeremy.
Grab a little tuition money toward that end today. He's already earned $50 in bonus money, and a runner-up, by the way, whoever it is, takes home $225 as their prize money today.
And the high string in the match earns another $50 for the bowler, whoever that may be. A 140 by Seaholm would certainly be a candidate at this point. Missed the head pin. He'll be open in the 4th frame.
Now Rich Clark can string together 2 more marks, giving him 3 in a row. That will tighten this match up going into the break.
Nice 10 box for Jeremy, 45 through 4.
He's got a nice touch out there. He really has a nice touch.
Nice smooth delivery.
Yep. Got very good pinning ability.
And another stylish bowler steps right up there. Rich Clark from the left side. The southpaw delivers. There's a strike for Rich Clark that goes inside the spare. 2 marks in a row, and he's looking for bonus money.
That was a crusher.
$925 in the triple strike jackpot. Keep that in mind as Rich Clark tries for a two-bagger. There they go. He's got two. When we come back from the break, Jeremy Seaholm will bowl first, and Rich Clark will be shooting for $925 in bonus money as Candlepin Stars and Strikes continues from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on WNDS TV. Jeremy Seaholm ready to bowl on lane 34 as the crowd buzzes in anticipation of Rich Clark's next appearance, looking for the triple strike jackpot. Meanwhile, Jeremy Seaholm has business at hand. He throws one right in the pocket and ends up with a bit of a split. Got the 3, the 6, and the 10 on the right, the 4 and the 7 on the left. Piece of wood is in pretty good position if he can cut that 3-pin over. And he just picked the 3-pin cleanly.
Do we sense a bit of a momentum shift here, or is it too early to say?
I think it's a little bit early, but Rich Clark certainly knows how to take advantage of a situation. And that will be a nice 10 box by Jeremy Seaholm. What a great shot that was. What a way to salvage a 10.
Yeah, it always feels so much better when it's a spare, though. When it's a 10, you like it, but not the same drama.
All right, Jeremy on the head pin again. Breaks up the split. Gets a break there. The 7-pin gets surrounded. It won't go down, but surrounded by a lot of wood, and a lot of wood.
Yeah. Well,
some of the wood falls off. The good piece of wood fell
yeah.
off. Now again, the double wood situation here, so you have to really kind of hold your breath. There it goes. Spare for Jeremy in the 6th frame, and now the attention focuses on Rich Clark. He has 3 marks in a row. It's $50, and now he's looking for $925 in bonus money for the triple strike jackpot, which he hit a while back, as I recall, a year or so ago.
I think it may have been 2 years ago.
Is it that long, 2 years ago?
I think.
But he's no stranger to it. $925 on the line. You can watch right now. Gave it a shot, didn't he?
2 pins away from $925, but a good fill in his double strike.
And another mark, another $25.
And an 87 half with yet another ball to throw.
Right through the head pin. He'll put just 6 in the spare, breaks up the spread eagle, but leaves himself a virtually impossible shot.
And a nearly tight, even match at this point, making all that ground back.
Look at this shot by Rich Clark. He made it! What a great shot by Rich Clark. He made an unmakeable shot.
It almost seems like a physical impossibility because the pins are on a level plane.
It just caught it. It raised it going by.
5 marks in a row.
It is physically impossible, but he made it anyway. And now Jeremy responds with a great shot. He'll put 8 in the spare, and he'll have a mark opportunity. So Rich now has $100 in bonus money. Jeremy's looking for another mark right here. Missed it. And look at the expression on his face, one of disbelief.
He was robbed, no doubt about that.
And that'll be a 10 box. Save that spare made by Rich Clark. I want to have a look at that one again later on.
Judges want to review that.
I don't know. I don't understand how he made that one.
I don't either.
Once again, I put the hex on him, the reverse hex on him. I said it was an unmakeable shot.
Yep. We've done that a few times over the years, and they like to prove us wrong, and that's okay.
Jeremy will make a nice shot. He continues to make shots. That's his 3rd mark of the string. And he's by no means out of the match.
No, but he's, well, pretty much relinquished the lead.
Oh, I believe that, but he had a big lead going in.
Much.
So we're going to have a tight 3rd string. We're setting up for a fantastic finish, to coin a phrase. Rich Clark, another mark. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row.
And $125 in bonus money. in the 8th frame, working on 6 marks in a row. 3 strikes, 3 spares.
Now the pocket shot will not get a strike, but is set up for another mark. Piece of wood out in front. Needs to hit the wood right on the stripe.
Mark it down. 7 marks in a row right here.
There it is. Rich Clark is on fire.
He's got a 16-pin lead over Jeremy Seaholm, but it took him a 7-bagger to do that. That's how far behind he was starting this game. He's down by 34 pins.
He was open in the first frame, and he's marked ever since. And Jeremy responds with a pocket shot. He'll put 8 in the spare.
Couple of heavyweights, Dick, slugging it out blow by blow here.
This is great bowling right here. Seaholm looking for another mark. There it is.
He doesn't seem to be intimidated by the seasoned veteran, does he?
Not at all. He's bowling well.
Very
he had
impressive.
6 marks in the first string. He's got 4 in the second string. Another chance at bonus money right here. He has $50 in the bank. Right on the head pin. 7 in the spare. Tough shot. Piece of wood way out in front. Again, red stripe on the wood is important here.
You want to drive the pin slightly to the left.
He made it. $50 more in bonus money. He's at 128 plus a ball.
Going to keep Rich Clark honest for his last 2 boxes.
It will be an 8 and a 136 second string. Great bowling by Jeremy to go with a 140 first string, 276 through 2. Rich Clark now with 7 marks in a row.
You know, we get some mail occasionally to people wanting to see some of the old-time bowlers. The occasional appearance by Charlie Jutras is great, but folks, you got to appreciate the new, young, upcoming bowlers, fresh faces like Jeremy Seaholm.
Rich with a 5.
Jeff Bugia, who we'll see in a couple of weeks. All great representatives of our Candlepin game.
If he makes this shot, Michael, watch out, watch out, watch out. Won't go.
Yes?
Unbelievable.
Well, the string ends at 7.
That'll be a 10 box. He's at 158.
And you know what? He needs a mark to take the lead in this match. Amazing. Well, he's certainly in the running for the high string of the week, which gets another $50 bonus money, compliments of Lita Lanes, our host establishment.
Right on the pocket. Can he break up the split? Rich does a little bit of a ballet after he lets the ball fly and goes into all sorts of contortions with his body trying to get the pins to bend over. This will be a tough shot for Rich. We've seen him make tougher. He plays the wood. He will be open in the 9th and 10th frames. He is at 167. 168 for Rich Clark. A 2-pin lead in the match for Jeremy Seaholm as we head to the 3rd and final string of a great match. Some terrific bowling, and you're getting to watch it on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. We come back to Lita Lanes right after this. Rich Clark will lead us off in the 3rd string. Rich Clark rolled a 168 in the 2nd string, and as we go to the 3rd string, he trails Jeremy Seaholm by 2 pins.
You believe that?
How well Jeremy Seaholm has been bowling through the first 2 strings. A 140 in the first, a 136 in the second for Seaholm. Rich Clark started out with a 106, which put him in a little bit of a hole, but he certainly dug out of that hole with a great 2nd string of 168.
Speaks very highly of the Jeremy Seaholm that he didn't wilt under that 7 consecutive mark barrage by Rich Clark.
Well, he finished with 3 marks in a row of his own.
That's right. And Rich Clark for climbing back with sheer determination. He actually almost looked a little angry for a while at himself and was throwing the ball with a little extra zip, I guess.
And he opens with a 9 box. Rich Clark has $150 in bonus money, and Jeremy Seaholm has $100 in bonus money.
I guess that makes up for the no bonus money last week.
Right.
It all evens out. We still have that $925 sitting in the bank for a 3-bagger.
Are you ready to get whooped again, Michael?
And what would you be referring to, Master Lust?
Our next head-to-head competition?
Coming up in a month, the 8th annual Rock and Bowl fundraiser at Haverhill at Pilgrim Lanes on Primrose Street. Opportunity for you to watch your favorite Candlepin bowling stars raise money.
Rich Clark, another great shot for a spare.
Dick and I will be hosting again this year as we did last year. And we will have our 2nd annual one-string head-to-head grudge match. You have reluctantly given in, have accepted my challenge after you beat me last year.
Look at Jeremy Seaholm respond. My goodness gracious. Rich Clark throws a mark, and Jeremy responds with a strike.
Beautiful flush pocket hit, 10-pin, last one to go.
Looking for 2 in a row. He won't get that, but puts 5 down with his first ball. And tough shot, but makeable shot for the second shot.
Sunday the 25th, the likes of Dave and Beth Richards, Jackie Ray, the Morgan brothers will be there. Who else, Dick? Janet Pock, who we saw in the doubles here a couple of weeks ago. Joe Tavernese, Joanne Rosano, Gary Carrington, and the list goes on and on and on. We'll see you there 9 o'clock Sunday, February 25th at Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill. Fundraiser, 8th annual Rock and Bowl. It's a lot of fun all day. It's interactive. There's raffles. It's a great chance for you to actually meet the bowlers you watch every Sunday.
And I'll come even though they misspelled my name on the promo.
They
show.
did. Yeah. Dick Lutz, L-U-T-Z. Well, maybe you should change it. You probably get more spellings that way than the correct.
There's Rich Clark looking for the strike. Look at that 10-pin wobble. And gets pushed halfway off the lane, but stays up. 9 in the spare for Rich.
Tell you what, a stiff breeze would knock that pin over. It's hanging over the lip of the plate, I think.
Got to keep it on the lane. That's the biggest problem he had right there. And his 2nd mark in a row for Rich.
Be ashamed to waste it by putting it in the gutter.
What terrific bowling we are watching this afternoon. Rich missed the head pin that time. Puts just 5 in the spare.
It's the 4 horsemen right side and the 8-pin in the back row.
Missed the head pin. Leaves the 1 and the 10. Prior to this ladder series, Rich was the number 5 seed. And he defeated John Zappi 357 to 351 back in March of 2000. Then lost to number 3 seed Craig Holbrook 421 to 360. And in 1999, he won the Tournament of Champions, beating number 2 seed. From the number 2 seed, he defeated top seed Jack Ray 391 to 350. The week before is when he hit the triple strike jackpot for $1,375 on his way to a 190 string.
Which I think is the highest we've seen.
I think it must be.
In the 3.5 years that we've been hosting the show. Very explosive bowler, Rich Clark. But he's got a formidable opponent today in Jeremy Seaholm.
Jeremy with a 9 box. Box to box now. Rich Clark has the lead in the match by about 5 pins.
But a mark and a good fill puts it back in Jeremy's court.
The 5 and the 8 still stand. Down they go. As we go to the break, we are virtually even with 6 boxes remaining. Rich Clark and Jeremy Seaholm battling down to the wire as Candlepin Stars and Strikes continues. From Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, you are watching WNDS TV. Rich Clark ready to go. Match virtually even as Jeremy Seaholm will be working on a spare. Both bowlers are within shooting distance of 400 triples.
Just thinking about that. Somebody's going to lose today with a 400. And a man that happened to a few months ago, Sean McKinley, will be here next week to take on our winner today. He lost, I think, with a 414.
Rich tries to break up the split. Look, they're all going down except the 3 and the 7 with a piece of wood. The way Rich makes shots, I would not say that this is impossible.
Unless
not an easy one.
Put the reverse jinx on him again.
Not going to make it. So Rich will be open in the 5th frame. That'll be a 10 box for Rich Clark. Got a nice card from the folks down at Pizza Hut.
We did, as a matter of fact. They have been kind enough to feed us for a good part of the season here, our 17th. Thank you so much. And they didn't have to do this because they take such nice care of us. It's a holiday card, a thank you card from Caitlin, and who else works there? Kristen, and let's see, who else we have here? Alexandria.
Whole bunch of names.
Mariana.
Unfortunately, we
Johnny.
can't read all of the writing.
I
Rita.
know. Kelly. Also Melissa.
Paula. Is that Paula down below?
I
think
believe it is.
Wendy. Nikki. Kelly.
And, of course, Lori.
And Lori.
So thanks to everybody. Michael's on the card. You guys are awesome. Your food is terrific, and it's a very thoughtful gesture. We thank you.
Rich missed the spare. So he will be open in the 6th frame with a 10 box. And the door opens now for Jeremy Seaholm. He will be working on a spare, a chance to take the lead back that he relinquished for 1 box in the 3rd frame.
This is a great opportunity for him to string a few together and take the lead once again.
4 horsemen on the left. He'll put 6 in the spare.
Part of his success today is that when he's hit the head pin, he's not hit it dead on. He's been able to hit it either to the right or generally more to the left, and it's helped him keep from getting splits.
Will he make the spare? He'll not. The 4-pin will survive.
Dick, as we watch one of the youngest bowlers we've ever had on the show, I want to acknowledge the Senior Professional Candlepin Bowling Association and some of their recent tournament activity. Now, this is back in December. It's the most recent information we have. Congratulations to Deb Regan, who we've seen on mixed doubles, not this year but last. She was the winner. Congratulations to Debbie. In the men's division, Dennis Olafson winning himself $425.
There's a strike for Jeremy Seaholm in the 6th frame. And that will put him back in the lead.
Take another look at it. 7-pin reluctantly goes down, getting tapped by one of the other pins on the deck. Want to mention the Senior Professional Candlepin Bowling Association will visit Mohegan Lanes in Webster, the old Zernike stomping grounds, February 17th and 18th. If you'd like to talk about some of the old timers that we don't see on the show too often, here's your chance to watch those men and women bowl in person at Mohegan Lanes, Feb 17 and 18.
Rich Clark needs to make the spare. The 3, the 6, and the 10, and there they go. Want to remind you to watch WNDS TV News Now every night at 7 and 10. Mary Stoker-Smith, Dan Kleffler, Mike de Blasi, and none other than Al Caprillion, who hit the weather forecast right on the nose. Does most of the time, as a matter of fact. Every night, 7 and 10, WNDS News Now. Rich Clark works on a spare. He will put 9 in the spare. And Rich responds like the seasoned veteran that he is.
Piece of wood slowly creeping over toward the 10-pin. But he's got a nice, clear path to it, unobstructed, the way he likes it.
And a very important shot coming here for Rich Clark. Has 9 spares in the match. And now another.
All right, 2 very critical boxes for Jeremy Seaholm up against a pair of Clark spares.
Well, that one got away from him, but he was working on a strike. So he gets another ball to salvage something out of this.
And he's got some useful wood. He
sure does.
Got kind of a tough combination there, but he does have a piece of wood sticking in between the 1 and the 5.
Missed the head pin, so he only put 7 in the spare, in the strike rather.
And that really is the first bad box that we've seen him throw today. First time on television. Did a great job.
Takes a 9 box. Now he's up against a mark by Rich Clark. Rich has a slight lead in the match.
Well, if Jeremy marks, it'll be a 1-pin lead.
1-pin lead.
The thinnest of margins.
Threw a pretty good pocket shot. Ends up with 4 pins.
The much hated
2, 4,
diamond.
5, and 8. Missed it. So Rich Clark will have the lead going into the final 2 boxes. $10 box. Rich Clark leads by a pin plus a ball.
And Sean McKinley awaits the winner of this match. Far from being decided. Ouch.
Add 3, so Rich has a 4-pin lead.
And a very, very difficult spare. Spread eagle with the 8 pin in the back.
He tried to angle it over. Now he needs to pin.
Well, he was actually trying to hit the 3 and the 6, and he missed by about a foot.
That's a 5 box for Rich Clark. How about that?
That is a surprising turn of events. This is where I figured Clark was going to put the kid away.
Now he's going to need a mark. And he leaves a tough shot.
I think he was very deliberately careful not to punch out, so he went a little bit too far to the right.
And he's got a piece of wood that's angled well for him. Of course, the sleeper in the back, the 8-pin, becomes problematic.
Yeah, he's giving it a little extra thought right here.
3, 5, 7, 8, and 10.
Do you hit the 3 to the right or to the left of center?
I go to the right.
Now, let's see
if
what
I can.
Clark does here. That's what he
Look
did.
at that for a shot. How's that for a clutch shot from a veteran bowler?
And advice from a veteran announcer.
Great shot by Rich Clark coming out of the 5 box.
That was a clutch shot.
Now the fill, which becomes all important. A deuce. Well, last 3 boxes Rich Clark would like to have back. Finished with a 120.
Well, I tell you what, Jeremy still needs a mark.
He does need a mark.
Mark and some decent fill. Pressure, but not a ton of it.
And there's the mark. That should do it.
Game, set, match.
Jeremy Seaholm will be the winner.
Wow.
Great shot by Seaholm as he responds to the pressure.
And it may be the half Worcester that costs Rich Clark the match. We'll find out here when we do all the math at the end.
Looking for 2 in a row.
Wouldn't that be a way to end it all, huh? Rich Clark will lose with a 394. Look at this. First time on television, over 400, beating one of the greats in the game, Rich Clark.
127 plus a ball. He's at 403 plus whatever he gets here. And it'll be a 9. He almost put another $50 in the bank. He finishes with a 136 and a 3-string total of 412 and a big ovation from the crowd.
I can't believe it. He's got
Congratulations to Jeremy Seaholm all around. We come back to meet our bowlers when we return to Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, as Candlepin Stars and Strikes continues on WNDS TV.